MissCoveredInPaint here with another episode of Critique Me Not. We're going to go over the anatomy of how your head is not the size of your butt. So here is a more corrected sketch of what, if I was to do this pose, this should look like. But yeah, no, it's completely off. It's completely wrong. And this is kind of a dumb pose anyway. So we're going to use actual reference here of people doing the back turn pose. And I'm going to use that to get my little angel drawing going. Wings! But I want her facing up. Okay. There we go. Rule of thirds. We want the focus on the wings. And here I am mapping out her anatomy. And, yeah. Not tracing, mapping. Alright. Yeah, I guess the wings would go there. I'm not an expert in wing anatomy, so you guys are going to watch me kind of learn as we go along here. I was never really into drawing angels or animals, so yeah, this is pretty much the one and only character and one and only time that I ever drew wings as a kid. So here I am, breaking down shapes miserably. This is not the right way to go about it. Do not do it this way. The shapes are not overlaid like that. But look how much this composition changes when I make it a horizontal landscape. Yeah, now I can add the whole wing in, just have a little bit sticking out, and it looks like the wings are more in focus, there's more weight to the frame, and it just looks like we're not trying to cram everything in the wrong way. Anyway, sorry I'm catching my breath. Okay, so we're gonna go back and redraw this. At this point, my friend came and helped me. She has these bird wings, and we looked at it and we talked about what would the human anatomy be like with wings. So here we've got the spine, and I'm putting the scapula, which is your shoulder blade, and then you have another scapula for the wing. That would be on top of the shoulder blade. And just like your arm, it would break off into these two joints, or yeah, these two bones or something like that. Anyway, and then it's going to break off into fingers, and that's kind of where the wing unfolds. Right now it looks pretty batty. I'm adding in the muscle here. And we're going to redraw the feather clumps as what we see on a bird. And so you've got these feathers here that are next to the base, and they tilt kind of out, and then there's another like arc to the wing. And then we're clumping down, or we're circling the clumps here so that we can see where the feathers group and where they don't. So that's kind of the overall clump. And now I'm going in with different colors to show the overlapping of the under feathers, I guess. From the back, the feathers don't have these clumps, but from the inside, like we have here, you see these clumps of different types of feathers. It's kind of cool. So we move the wing up, so it looks like it's kind of reaching out, and we can see this is a much more cool, fun, dynamic pose. I'm going in and showing kind of like how this girl is going to look different than my reference, and I'm just going straight into inking because we need to hurry this up. Yeah! So let me tell you a little bit about Life. Life is an angel. I created her when I was 13. No, maybe even 12. This is the summer. It was before I started drawing. And I remember I wanted to write a story that was cool, like all the video games I was playing. So I pretty much just took from Final Fantasy games and anime and everything I was into at the time and made my own story about an angel named Life who gets banished from heaven on accident, and she ends up on Earth, and she has to kind of hide her identity and find her way back to heaven somehow, but she doesn't really know how. And yeah, she's got the other angel chick, Aridany, who is like the angel of death, who's like her nemesis and trying to get her and stuff. And anyway, it's kind of a superhero / slice of life kind of story. It doesn't really follow her saving the world as much as it's her trying to navigate daily life as a high schooler with all of these super magical powers. Yeah, and here we are with the butt. Okay, so the gluteus, is it the gluteus maximus here, yeah, is definitely a struggle for me. I don't draw people from behind very often, and I have drawn people's butts before, but I think it's because of the pose and the black dress that this model was wearing. I can't tell where her butt cheeks are. So here I am trying to figure out butt anatomy, and you know what? It can be a struggle. There is definitely an art to those butt shots, so don't you laugh at them. Here I am trying to figure it out by making her, like, mapping out her waist. My friend came over again to my assistance and we talked about it, and pulling up the other model was great because she's wearing a blue dress, which makes it easier to see like the contours. So we're remapping out her butt. This is my friend drawing, and ta-da! It looks more like it works. So I was moving her butt over so it was a profile, but it needed to be more straight on. And so now we're going to go through and map out the clothing lines and make it look like she's wearing jeans. Butts. Who knew, man? Who knew they could be so tough to draw? Right? You can't draw a bad butt or else everyone will laugh. But if you draw too good of a butt, then it's just, you know, it's not cool. I don't know. I guess really nice butts are cool. Whatever. I'm just trying to give her an average butt. She's an average kind of girl. Average girl, that's really an angel. So we've got the pockets, and then I'm going to go through, I think, with the stitching. Now I'm going to clean up lines. And then I'm going to go through with the stitching in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay, stitching. Okay. And that just adds a little detail so her jeans look like they're interesting. And her butt, I think, is pretty good now. Yeah, it's not too distracting, right? Right? Alright, now we're going on to hands. Oh man, hands can be really difficult, so I'm really glad that my reference is the hand that I want. And as I look at this pose, it totally makes me think of Final Fantasy VIII with Renoa, and yeah, that one, she's always like, one dance, one time, I don't know. But anyway, I felt like it was fitting because at the time I was really into Final Fantasy VIII when I created Angel Story, and there's another character that actually is pretty much just Renoa, but I renamed her Emily, and yeah, no, but life is definitely, I think, inspired by some of my interpretation of who Renoa was. I never finished the game, so I had a skewed perspective of who she was and what her personality was like. Yep. There, hand looks pretty good, not too big. Before, on the original drawing, her hand is like backwards, which made me laugh. So here I'm drawing through, even though her body, her back here is going to be covered up by the wings, I'm going to draw it through anyway. And that really helps ensure that the anatomy and the proportions are correct, even if I'm going to just be covering it up anyway. The wings are going to be transparent though, so for now it's important that the anatomy underneath the wings is correct because you're going to see it anyway a little bit. So I'm just going through and blackening out her hair. She actually has purple hair and purple eyes, and they change color to what she wants them to be, but yeah, they're purple most of the time. In fact, I should probably, if I ever rewrote the story, it would just be purple. Because purple hair is awesome. Purple hair is awesome. So here's our wing, and I lowered the opacity for her so that we could focus on just inking the wing and not her body. And I'm going through and doing like the little feathers. These are softer and fluffier feathers. Again, they don't really hold much of the air, I don't think. They're not strong and curved like the ones you'll see later. The key is to draw the illusion of a lot of feathers, but without drawing every single feather. If you get too much detail, it looks bad, and if you don't do enough, then it looks too simplified, and yeah, you just gotta find a happy medium. So I'm going through and I'm cleaning up these feathers and trying not to be too picky, but then I'm getting too picky and I'm cleaning everything up because it's never clean enough for me. But my problem is that I keep drawing at like 60% and I need to zoom into like 100%, and yeah, it's a never-ending cycle. So again, I'm constantly looking at bird wings when I'm drawing this and trying to make sure that I get the right feathers. And fortunately, there are a lot of people who like to draw angels out there, so there's a lot of angel specific feather anatomy, but you want to look at like real physical stuff, not just someone else's interpretation of fantasy, because it just, again, gets watered down and watered down and watered down to where something's going to look really messed up. So it's important to look at the actual bird wings, and you can look at the angel stuff, but look at bird wings, or else you're going to turn up like I did originally in my drawing from when I was 12 or 13. I actually think that drawing was when I was 14, because her head shape and everything is so much more defined. You know, she doesn't have the pizza face and stuff. So here I'm doing the overlapping feathers, and I'm curving it around so that it's not just like the wing is flat, it's actually like kind of coming at us at the end there. And I'm just gonna thicken the lines, clean them up, but try and show, I think I could have done a better job showing the wing coming at us, but whatever. So for the second wing, now that I've spent all this time on my first wing, I'm just gonna duplicate the layer and use several transformation tools to make it look like there's a second wing without actually drawing a second wing. But use Photoshop, it's your friend. Again, if this was traditionally drawn, I would probably just not draw the second wing, or I would just like shadow it and not do all this detail. But because I'm using Photoshop, I'm just gonna copy and paste it and then change it so that it looks like it's at a different angle. The transform tools, there's a lot of different ones you can use. There's like sketch, skew, rotate, distort, warp, and all of those do different things, but I used a combination of them in order to get the wing kind of how I wanted it to be. So there I thickened the lines finally to show the wing tips coming forward more, and yeah, I think that's pretty much the black and white part. From here on out, I'm going to do coloring, so if you want to keep watching, then you can. If you just were interested in how to draw wings, then you can take a break. So we're going to use clipping masks, which is when you make a new layer and you put it over the layer of ink, and then you press Alt, or I think it's something on the Mac, I don't know, and then you click the line between the layers, and it'll color on top of that line work whatever you want it to. Right now I'm just doing gradients because I don't want to paint anything detailed. This is a simple picture. I'm just trying to add some cool coloring effects. So here I'm painting the wings gray. They're not going to be gray, but I'm just trying to mask them out pretty much so that when time comes, I can color them really quickly. Alright, so now we're going to go into the clipping mask for the wing, just the wing base, I think is what we're going to do first. The wing closest to us. And you're going to see I'm going to pick yellows because life's really purple, so they're complementary. They'll do their work. And I have the gradient go from light to more saturated, and then I just kind of played around with it and lowered the opacity so it looks like it's see-through. And then I did the same thing for the line work, and yeah, I really like the effect it gave it. It looks kind of cool. Yeah. So you can see that you can see through the wings now, and it really gives that glowy kind of illusion, like they're invisible, but they're there. But somehow we've got cool glasses on and we can see it. And I'm going to do the same thing for her clothes because I feel like her clothes needed to be kind of fleshed in too. So I'm going to make 2 layers of different grays, and then I'm just going to do clipping masks over them and just, yeah, do gradient stuff. First I was like, purple everything, and I was like, no, let's make them blue! Blue jeans! Yeah! So this is kind of like Life's default outfit. She goes to a boarding school, so she has a uniform, but whenever she can, she wears a strapless tank top that's purple and then jeans. And that's her outfit, and I don't know why, but it is. I think that was kind of like my ideal outfit too when I was that age, when I was 13. I was like, I want to wear strapless everything, but I can't because I'm only 13. Anyway, so here's the original, and here's the new one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll look forward to seeing you next week with another skit video, but yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Bye!